Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. You've probably heard the buzz floating around the NFL lately. And if you're a Packers fan, you know how crucial every piece of news is when it comes to building a Super Bowl contender. And this latest rumor, it's got the potential to shake up not just the NFC North, but the entire conference. Word is the Dallas Cowboys might be willing to part ways with one of their most dangerous weapons, CeeDee Lamb, in a blockbuster trade that could change everything for Green Bay. Yes, you heard that right. Lamb, the so-called route runner supreme, could soon be donning the green and gold. And let's be honest, as Packers fans, we all know how much we need a true WR1 to elevate this offense. With Christian Watson still fighting injuries and our depth at wide receiver a little thin, the idea of bringing in a player like Lamb is incredibly enticing. So, what's the scoop? Well, according to some of the most reputable NFL insiders, the Cowboys, currently sitting at 4-5 and struggling with Dak Prescott's ankle injury that's expected to sideline him for about 4 weeks, might be looking to make some bold moves before the trade deadline. The Cowboys, in a bit of a rebuild mode after their recent struggles, are reportedly considering trading Lamb for a couple of high-value draft picks, specifically a second-round pick in the 2026 draft and a fourth round in 2027. This move would free up around $20 million in cap space, which Dallas could then use to bolster their offensive line and other needs, especially since their passing game has been significantly hampered by the lack of elite wide receiver talent and Dak's injury woes. Now, the NFL community is buzzing because this isn't just about cap space and draft capital. It's about how a player like Lamb could transform a team, especially one like Green Bay, which has been looking for that game-changing receiver to take the offense to the next level. Lamb, who's been a consistent threat since entering the league, has shown flashes of elite production, and in 2025 he's already amassed about 45 receptions, 658 yards, and 5 touchdowns, averaging nearly 15 yards per catch with a PFF grade of 92.4, which is among the best in the league. His route running, simply elite. The guy's a route runner's dream, with a mastery of the slant and a good percentage of deep routes, making him a perfect fit for a quarterback like Jordan Love, who's been eager to develop that deep pass game. And let's not forget, Lamb's career has been impressive. Over his span in the league, he's accumulated over 200 receiving yards and 35 touchdowns, with a yards after catch average of 6.2 yards. His ability to create mismatches on the field is what makes him such a valuable asset. He's a guy who can turn a simple slant into a big play, and his separation stats, around 2-3 yards per route, show he can get open against tight coverage. And with a 60% success rate on contested catches, he's proven he can make the tough grabs when it counts. Now, why would Dallas be willing to let go of Lamb? Well, according to reports, the Cowboys are prioritizing bolstering their offensive line, especially their interior, and are capping their cap space at around $11 million. They're also wary of their thin WR core and are planning to focus on youth development. With the team projecting a 7-10 finish at best, and odds of winning the Super Bowl around +80, Dallas might see this as a necessary move to rebuild for the future. The risk, of course, is losing a player who's still in his prime and can be a difference maker on Sundays, but sometimes teams have to make tough decisions when facing cap constraints and a need to rebuild. But for us, here in Green Bay, this could be a game changer. If the Packers manage to land Lamb, it would give Jordan Love a true WR1, someone who can stretch the field, create mismatches, and make our offense more explosive than ever. Lamb's stats against man coverage, about 78% success, and his yards after catch are among the best for a receiver his age. His ability to turn a routine route into a big gain is reminiscent of the Packers' own historic duo of Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb, players who could turn a game around in a heartbeat. And let's not forget, Lamb's production this season shows he's still in his prime, with a yards per route run of nearly 3 yards and a drop rate of just 1/8%. On top of that, his success rate against different coverages, and his ability to make contested catches make him an ideal fit for a Packers team that's looking to make a deep playoff run. Now, looking at how this fits into our current situation, Green Bay is sitting comfortably at the top of the NFC North, but the competition is fierce. The Detroit Lions are hot on our heels, and the Minnesota Vikings are still in the mix. Our offense has been decent, but it's clear we lack that one extra weapon to push us over the edge, especially in tight games. Adding Lamb would not only boost our passing attack, but also send a message to the league that the Packers are serious about contending. With Jordan Love developing and our defense holding strong, an offensive upgrade like Lamb could be the final piece to bring us back to the Super Bowl stage. And the impact on the division? Well, if Green Bay pulls off this trade, it could elevate us to new heights, perhaps finishing the season with a record around 12-5, winning the division outright, and sweeping our rivals like the Lions and Vikings. It'd be a statement to the NFC that the Packers are back as serious contenders, and this kind of move could set us up for long-term success, especially if we can re-sign Lamb in the future or build around him with our draft picks. Now the odds for the Super Bowl are already starting to move. Before this rumor, Green Bay had modest chances, but with the addition of a player like Lamb, those odds could jump significantly. Some projections even suggest a rise from plus 900 to around plus 450. That's a huge boost, and it shows how much this kind of move could energize our entire fan base. Lamb's track record as a big play receiver, averaging 95 yards per game over his career, would give us a true deep threat that could open up our entire offense. Imagine the possibilities with Love connecting on those deep passes to Lamb, especially in clutch moments. It would also bolster our third down conversions, a key factor in controlling games and wearing down opponents. Of course, for Dallas, trading Lamb might seem like a desperate move, especially given their current standing and cap situation. But it's a calculated risk. They're prioritizing youth, cap space, and rebuilding for the future, even if it means letting go of a star now. The Cowboys, with odds of plus 8-0 to win the Super Bowl, are clearly in a rebuilding phase, and this move would help them focus on developing their younger players and building for the long haul. So, looking ahead, if the Packers can pull off this trade, it could be the start of a new chapter, one filled with explosive offense, playoff runs, and maybe even a shot at another Super Bowl. The potential of adding a player like Lamb is not just about improving our team. It's about re-establishing ourselves as a dominant force in the NFC and perhaps finally crossing that Super Bowl threshold once again. The future looks bright, and with the right moves, the Packers could be on the verge of something special. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential Lamb trade? Do you think it's a game changer for us? Would you be excited to see him in green and gold? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news. This is an exciting time for our team, and I genuinely believe that with the right moves, we can make a deep playoff run and perhaps even bring another Lombardi home. The future is bright, and it's in our hands. Let's keep the passion alive, Packers Nation.